Welcome to another episode of Making Fun. This is gonna be fun. In this episode, we are making a 4-tiered herb garden. Here we are in our backyard. Like many people who are stuck at home, quarantining themselves, we have turned to gardening, and we've gone a little overboard. We thought we would show you the gorgeous backyard. Today we're going to be making our herb garden out of several cedar fence posts. Unfortunately, the kind we got at Blue hardware store has dog ears, which means there's a little bit of beveling on the side, but we're going to work around that. And these are a fairly inexpensive way to make a fancy little herb garden for your backyard. This right here is my prototype of what we're going to be building today. It is 2 feet by 5 5/8 for those of you who do fractions. Now, when we're making this, these are 2 feet, but the bottom piece is 2 feet minus the width of the board here and the width of the board here. That was Danny Hogger from Danny Hogger Podcast. Danny Hogger did our music for this episode. Go check him out over at DannyHoggerMusic.com. Download his albums. This board is exactly 6 feet tall. I am 5'12", so it's about the same as me. Here is the dog ear that I was talking about, and that is an inch off of the board. So I'm going to have to cut that off to exclude that portion. I would like to maximize our board, so I'm going to actually need to cut each of these just slightly smaller than 2 feet. So if I do 2, 4, this won't be 6 if I cut off this last bit right here. It'll be 1 inch less than 6, but I'm afraid this still won't work right because of the kerf of the blade, the thickness of the blade that's removed. Long story short, we're gonna fudge it. From one board, I am able to make the 2 sides and the base. From the other boards, I will cut the end pieces off. I am cutting each board for the edges at 23 7/8, taking into account the curve of my blade so I can get 1 box out of 1 board. So this is the width. This is the width of the end piece on that side. That does it. Perfect. My last board should be 22 5/8. Now I'm just going to do this a whole bunch of times, so cue the time lapse. Here we go. Base, 2 side walls, 2 end pieces.
Dogs love nail guns. It's a box.
I think I'm going to begin at the top and work my way down, because what I do know is that this piece will attach right here along the edge. This, honored guests, is why you always keep your fingers away from the nail gun and anywhere that that nail might go. All right, we are about 3 nails until we are done with this project, and hubris, of course, has taken over, and there is a nail jammed in my nail gun. So there goes my second favorite thing in the world, and we fall back onto good old-fashioned hammers and nails. Unfortunately, the only nails I have are the exact opposite problem of what we've been experiencing the entire time of 2 long nails. These nails are too short. Nope. Like Icarus, I flew too close to the sun with my hubris reference, and now we're gonna try 3, which is screwing in with some drywall screws that I have. Everything is pretty much done, and then we'll fill it with some dirt. All right. All right, and there you have it. For just maybe about $15 worth of wood and $1,000 worth of tools, you too can have yourself this nice 4-tiered herb garden.
There's a good chance that there's a portal to hell opening up in our backyard. So that's fun.
So here we have our giant tomato plant that we forgot to trellis. And it kind of got away from us. In this pot, we've got a ginger root plant that our aunt gave us. And we've got some little garlic starters going down here. A bunch of succulents inherited from my parents, a butterfly bush, more succulents. There's some aloe along with something from the birdseed. Got some milkweed. I've got some succulents and a coleus, I think, in a tiny tin bathtub. Some aloe. Some lavender, whatever that is. Here are some potatoes that sprouted in our cupboard and we planted. Also, we planted this whole row of potatoes back here in the ground. Only a couple of my sunflowers have made it, but none of them have bloomed yet, and I'm getting impatient. Our enormous zucchini plant. There's my shadow. Hello. And then we've got, everything needs watered. We've got some basil, couple of cucumbers that are finally starting to grow with the tiniest little cucumber babies growing on them right now. And then this giant thing is a pumpkin plant. And I can show you, we only have, for the amount of plant we have, we only have 1 pumpkin so far, but I'm very proud of it. It's a good baby. And hopefully we'll get fatter before October. And then more plants, because I have a problem. This plant needs a home. Hopefully I will find it a home today. I will do a proper garden tour at some point. That was just me going, yeah. Also because we're not done. Because there's going to be there's a few other garden projects. I would like to have the playhouse fixed before we do a garden tour. And the sandbox. we've been working on this garden. We moved in March, the end of March, and it's almost the end of July, so 4 months we've been working on the house and this garden, and we're not done yet. We have plans. We have some big plans still that we'd like to get done before summer's end. Let's put it that way. So after we finish with those big plans, hopefully we can do a garden tour